Houston fans, how we doing? Today we're going to be going into a 7-round mock draft that is going to include some trades. It's going to basically be a mock scenario for the draft where I'm going to take the selections we have, try and move them. This was all done on the Draft Network, so any trades that you see, they were all done based on the trade machine for the Draft Network. So if you think it's too much or too little, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll try to adjust it as much as I can. But I hope you guys do enjoy the video, and I hope you guys do enjoy the selections. Before you go into it, it would help me out a ton if you do subscribe to the channel. If you do enjoy the content, it means a ton to me, as well as like the video. And of course, if you haven't already, go ahead and click the link in the description below. Check out Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code Sormani, S-O-R-M-A-N-I, and they'll match your first deposit up to $100. But we'll get into that later in the video. With the first pick for the Houston Texans at pick 3, we are going to select Evan Neal out of Alabama. Pretty simple. This guy's a monster. There's not really much more that you could say about it. Pairing him with Laramie Tunsil is going to be the best tackle duo in the NFL. You protect Davis Mills, and it just fits perfectly. He's an absolute monster. I just think the positional value is there. The need is there. I love this pick for the Houston Texans. I think it's a perfect selection. Now we have our first trade to announce. The Texans are going to be getting pick 29 and pick 50, and the Chiefs are going to move up to pick 13. Maybe there's a receiver that they like. Maybe they want an edge rusher. There's a bunch of different needs that the Chiefs could need, but for a team like the Texans, you know, we're here to not compete next year, but build a foundation and compete in the near future. So we're going to do that here. The Texans are going to be getting these 2 picks, and that's just going to help build more of a foundation, and the Chiefs can go and get whatever guy there is, because really there's no specific need at pick 13 the Texans need to go out and accomplish. So now at pick 29, we are going to select Daxton Hill, the safety out of Michigan. He's speedy. He's great in coverage. He would be the best safety in this class if Kyle Hamilton was not a prospect, because Kyle Hamilton is in a league of his own. But Daxton Hill really can do it all at the safety position. Justin Reed obviously went to Kansas City, and now we're using Kansas City's selection to take basically his replacement here. I really do like Daxton Hill a lot. I think that he can do a ton on a defense. I think he's going to be one of the better coverage linebackers, or safeties, I mean, in the NFL. He's very much pro-ready. You could plug him in day one, and he's going to be able to start right away and do very well. Had a good next-gen grade of 88, so that's something definitely to look forward to. Another leader on that defense, and we know that the secondary is going to be something looked at by Caserio and Lovie Smith for this Tampa 2 defense. At pick 37, we're going to be selecting Breece Hall, the running back out of Iowa State. He has a 99 grade from Next Gen Stats, and I thought that was crazy seeing that, and it really does speak for itself. He's the best running back in the class. He's dynamic. He can pretty much do it all. This is going to be one of the better running backs. This is like Najee Harris of this year. Breece Hall really can do everything. So for a young quarterback in Davis Mills to have a superstar caliber running back to aid him and make him a much better quarterback and have defenses worry a lot more about the run game is going to do wonders for this team that really lacked a run game all last year. They tried with David Johnson and Burkhead and, you know, everyone else in between that was there, but Breece Hall is going to command that backfield. He's going to take it over, and it's going to be a fun ride in Houston. Here at pick 50, we're going to select David Ojabo, who falls down the draft board due to his torn Achilles. It's going to make him miss his rookie year, but for a team like Houston, this is actually a very good situation for them, because Ojabo is still new to the game. He lacks the IQ that a lot of other players have that have been playing for their whole lives, because Ojabo's only been playing for a handful of years, the sport of football in total. So as athletically gifted as he is, and as great of an athlete and just a prospect he really is, that Achilles tear is going to make him drop out of the first round. But this time that he's going to spend off the field, the Texans can really use to educate him more on the game and, you know, the defenses that they're going to run and etc. I think that's going to be an awesome situation for Ojabo to go into, to where the 2023 season he'll be coming into it absolutely crushing it and ready to dominate on the opposite side of Jonathan Canard. I really like this a lot for the Texans. Build him this year, have him come back and still be that elite prospect a year later. Pick 68, I have the Texans selecting Marcus Jones, the corner out of Houston. He's one of my favorite players in this class. He truly is an elite corner prospect. he's just undersized. That's really all it is. 5'8", I believe, is what he's measured in at. And so guys are very turned off by the height. And in reality, I think if you can play, you can play. We've seen Tyrann Mathieu dominate the safety position for years at 5'9". So Marcus Jones truly can be one of the better corners in this league, even at his lack of height. At worst, you're going to have somebody who can do so much on the defensive side of the football, and you're going to get him for a pick 68. That's not a high pick at all. It's a decent pick, but it's not as high as those other guys, but he can put up the same production at the next level. We have another trade to announce. The Texans are going to be getting pick 69 from the Jets for pick 80 and 183. So getting back-to-back picks here is going to help out the Texans a lot. We have some sort of foundation. This team isn't necessarily as far away as it may seem, but we don't need 20 picks in the draft. We're able to move up and get back-to-back selections here. So Marcus Jones is going to be getting another teammate right behind him, and that teammate is going to be Darion Canard out of Kentucky, interior offensive lineman. He had a 75 grade, which is decent, but this guy is just huge. You can see it on the picture. He's physical. He's going to be able to dominate in that interior. He's not somebody that you have to start right away, which is good. Because the Texans, this is a team with a decent offensive line. So Canard's going to fit in very well if you want him to start right away. But this running back that you have now in Breece Hall is going to, demand some carries. So you want guys that can power through and make those gaps for him. And Canard is going to create space easily. And he's also a little bit more agile than you'd think for his size. He's able to pull and get outside of the interior hash marks and really get to the outside and help out on screen plays and on pull plays as well. So I think that Canard is going to fit in very nicely to this interior of the offensive line for Breece Hall and the Texans. We have another trade to announce with the Jets. Pick 87 is going to come to the Texans for 107 and 205. So moving up some picks and giving up a late pick, not too bad. Again, just getting another selection to help us out. And with that selection, we're going to select Alec Pierce out of Cincinnati, a 72 grade from Next Gen. He helped Cincinnati get to the playoffs. He was the #1 receiver. In that playoff game, we saw him drop the ball a couple times. Definitely not something you want. But he showed amazing speed at the combine, and he's got good size as well. So for him to be paired with Collins and Cooks, I think that getting Pierce as well, you have a very good trio of receivers for Davis Mills to throw to in year one, depending on if Cooks resigns or if he moves on after this offseason. At pick 108, we are going to be selecting Jessie Lokita out of Penn State. Pretty much, you're just getting some extra linebacker help. The linebacker core is solid, but it's up there in age. They're not young. Just getting some younger linebacker help can help on special teams or just rotate. He's more of a hybrid. He could play inside or outside, but I prefer him on the outside, especially in the Tampa 2. I don't really need him being in coverage that much, but I do like Lokita a lot. Sorry to interrupt the video, but I just want to talk to you about Underdog Fantasy really quick. The NFL season's over, but you can still draft a new fantasy team on Underdog Fantasy and win cash prizes. They have a slick mobile app and a user-friendly site. You can also join a league and draft a team in minutes. Plus, the folks at Underdog are helping you guys out that are watching the video by matching up to $100 on your first deposit for new users when you use code SORMANI, SORMANI. So just go to UnderdogFantasy.com or go download the App Store or the Google Play Store. Sign up with the code SORMANI, that's SORMANI, and Underdog is going to match your first deposit all the way up into $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SORMANI, SORMANI. Now let's get back to this video. At pick 207, we're going to be selecting Amari Carter, the safety out of Miami. He did not have a next-gen grade. He was not at the combine. This is a guy who is a hard-hitting safety, just an absolute headhunter. And unfortunately, in today's day and age, you can't be a headhunter in the NFL. He's gotten into trouble because of it. He's definitely had to miss some time and be called out of games because of it. But this is a dude who really, if you can get him to form tackle, he can be a very solid, strong safety, or even just somebody to put out there in special teams and make a big impact with how much of of his ability to get the ball loose and hard hit. I really like Amari Carter this late. He's going to be a great special teamer as well. Then at pick 245, the last pick of the draft, we're going to be selecting Dijon Warren out of Jackson State. He played corner at the HBCU, so obviously you don't know what you're going to get from him at the higher levels because HBCU talent is not as high level as, Alabama and Big Ten and stuff. But when you look at what you can get from Warren, the one thing that stands out is he was a very solid return man. So at worst, you're going to get somebody who can help in the return game and definitely compete for a corner spot because the corner spot is one that is still pretty open in Houston. But at the worst, you're getting a return man. At the best, you get a steal of a guy who's from an HBCU but has the talent to progress to that next level very well. That is going to be it for me. Hope you guys did enjoy the 7-round mock draft here. A lot of good players there. A lot of good players. Houston fans, let me know how we did. I feel like this is a really good squad. I'm really liking. My favorite pick is definitely the Breece Hall pick. This is one of the only teams in the NFL that truly is missing that, solid number 1 running back. And I cannot wait to see if they get a guy like a Breece Hall in this draft. So I really do appreciate you guys checking this video out. If you did and you can help me out a ton, please be sure to leave it a like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're trying to get the videos out there. So liking and subscribing is the best way to help me out. And of course, if you didn't already, go ahead and check out Underdog Fantasy. Match that first deposit up to $100 with code SORMANI. That's SORMANI. But again, if you did enjoy the video, please be sure to leave it a like. If you didn't, refresh the page. Let me know what you think about it the second time. Because without further ado, that's going to be it for me. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
How you talking 50K? How you talking making plays or just talking? Yeah. I do this shit on my own time. Time is money, so I did it on my own dime. Word to Bookie, yeah, this homage gave me game. Yeah, he taught me family ties. Quick to back there, above me. Nah, I can't wait for you.